Living in China versus living in America.
I would like to introduce you to this lady called Lizzy, and she's a South African girl living in China, and she is one of the latest people, Westerners who live in China. I think she's a English teacher. Not that her English is actually very good, to be honest with you, but she sort of does the usual kind of thing. Once again, America is bad, China is good. And the thing is, it works. She gets lots of views, lots of subscribers saying, oh, don't go and live in America, it's awful. Live in China, you have freedom, it's all developed. Well, here, Lizzy, I would just like to prove you wrong. Let's have a look, first of all, at one of the best cities in the world, and that is New York City. Now, let's compare it to the alleyways of Shanghai. Which city would you like to live in? Let's go back to New York City, the Big Apple, and let's go to Grand Central Station. It's one of the best in the world, even with an Apple store on one of the balconies. Meanwhile, back in Shanghai, it just looks like it hasn't been developed for, since the 1930s. So this is my message to these people, saying America is bad, China is good. All you're doing each and every time is showing the infrastructure. Anyone can make infrastructure. It's how the land is. It's how the government is. Now, every country has, you could say, not the perfect government. There's not one in the world, including China. America doesn't have the best government. I like Donald Trump, for example. I'm not American. I liked him as a businessman, and I think he did lots as a president, much better than Joe Biden. What has Xi done? Well, he did the complete disaster with COVID. Yeah, he'd done the high-speed train, but that's in $900 billion of debt. The infrastructure, well, because of new government regulations related to the banking system, two of the biggest developments companies in China have collapsed, Evergrande and Country Garden, I do believe. So Xi, what has he done? He was caught in 2016 with the Panama Papers being corrupt. Yep, the most corrupt politician in China, but puts the other people away. So all of this, even though it's not the perfect world living in America, I would say it's far better than living in China when you're under this authoritarian rule. More recently, the government have been confiscating e-bikes. Now, I don't like e-bikes, but it was an essential way for people to travel, and confiscating them unlawfully, like this. I think the only reason you do this, because you know it works, it's a tested theory, and you can get the hits on YouTube, and when you get the hits on YouTube, you get the monetization with it as well. You get a lot of cash. But this is the whole thing. YouTube is not allowed in China. It's banned. You can get a VPN. It's quite easily accessible, but that's illegal. But the government just say, well, if you're not going to talk bad about Xi Jinping, the CCP, the authorities, the secrets behind what's happening, the truth in Xinjiang, etc., etc., they will just let it go. But if you did anything bad, they would possibly come and knock on your door and say, no, you can't do this, and maybe you would lead to a deportation. So, dear Lizzy, again, either you're very, very naive, either you're hoping to get paid by the CCP propagandists because you're doing these videos, you're quite new to YouTube, you're doing very well, but it's just one-sided stuff. Every city has these beautiful buildings, but let's go behind the scenes and you get something like this. My name is James because I'm James, and this is the Asia show, living in Asia for now, getting very close to 30 years. I will show you. I've got nothing to hide. I have access to the internet without one of these stupid VPNs, and I use a secure network. So, something which you can't do in China. Food for thought. Thank you so much for your time. Thumbs up, subscribe, share, and if you want to donate, the links are in the description below. God bless to all. Thumbs up to America. Thumbs down for because I'm Lizzy. Bye-bye.